Today I wanted to use up some scraps, and I'm making this quilt for my mother for Christmas. So, shh. But I started out by making a freezer paper template, and when you use freezer paper, you can iron it again and again and again and again. And I think I used one template for all 25 of these blocks, and it kept ironing on just fine. It didn't lose any of its adhering properties. So that's why you see me, looks like I'm taking off a Band-Aid from paper, because it really did stick. It was good. I've used freezer paper for many things, and many times for many different templates. But as I was making the trees, I would stack them on my rotary, rotating, I guess, cutting mat. That way I could take that easily to the sewing machine, and I could chain piece all of these together. My mother loves pine trees and winter scenes and log cabins, and I thought I would make her this quilt for Christmas and give her the option of either myself quilting it on my long arm on my machine, so it would be machine quilted, or she also likes to do a lot of hand quilting. So I don't know if she wanted to hand quilt this one or wants me to machine quilt it, but I will give her the option and make the top for her. Also, when I was putting these blocks together, the medium I was using was both flannel and cotton fabrics. I like doing this sometimes because all flannel, if you use all flannel, it adds a lot of bulk. And with the tree trunk and the two background pieces below, it would get pretty thick. And I wanted to kind of mix things up a little bit. So most of my backgrounds were flannel. Some of my trees were flannel and cotton, but all of my tree trunks, the dark brown piece at the bottom, those were all cotton. And so many times as I was taking the freezer paper off of the fabric after I'd ironed it on and cut out the templates, I would set those blocks. For some reason, my brain wanted to put those wedges differently, so I was constantly turning them around. Also, I was running out, you'll see here in a minute, I was running low on backgrounds that I wanted to use, and some of my background fabric I cut across the grain. I didn't leave it straight of grain, and I believe it was right there, this particular fabric. You can kind of see how the one on the bottom, I'll say, was a little bit different than the one on the top of the screen. But I wanted to use that up, and I knew she would like that fabric. So I am the kind of quilter who, it doesn't matter to me if my plaids match up, if my stripes match up. I kind of think that gives it a more primitive look, maybe, when you kind of mix up. The pioneers, if they had fabrics, they used what they had, and they didn't have the luxury of going out and buying more. Well, also in my stash of fabric, I do not have any more of this particular background that I'm using of plaids, so I had to kind of use what I had, even if it meant laying the template piece crooked, per se, and ironing it on and using that. I had started this quilt probably 3 years ago, and I had pretty much all of the trees and the dark brown cut out for the tree trunks, and decided I wanted to finish this for this year for Christmas, which meant I had to get into my stash to find neutrals enough to be background. But here you can see I'm using a dark blue, and it has a little bit of a fleck on it, so it looks like falling snow. So some of my trees will be in the evening and some of the trees will be in the daylight. But I did get 25 of them put together Sunday evening, and they are all different. This is going to be a very scrappy quilt, and I think she will like it because of the variety of fabrics that I used. My guess is she's going to want to hand quilt this. But I thought they turned out all so fun and so cute, and this will be a fun quilt for her.